Hello, my dear students. This is Mrs. Shaima Gharib, and today we are going to talk about special numbers. In this video, we are going to talk about consecutive numbers and prime numbers. Let's revise some rules before you watch any video. First, you have to sit in a quiet place. You should have your pen and a piece of paper to take notes and to solve questions. You should pause the video after each question, then you try to answer on your own. Then you play the video to check your answer and to understand the question in case you get a wrong answer. Are you ready? Let's start. Consecutive numbers. They are numbers that follow each other in order. We can also say they have a difference of 1 between every two numbers. For example, numbers 2, 3, 4. They are following each other in order, and the difference between 2 and 3 is 1, and the difference between 3 and 4 is 1. 25, 26, and 27, they are following each other in order, and the difference between 25 and 26 is 1, and 26 and 27 is 1. 215, 216, also consecutive numbers. They are following each other in order, and the difference between them is 1. We can write any number of consecutive numbers. We can write 3 consecutive numbers, or 4 consecutive numbers, or 6 consecutive numbers. So is it clear now, the meaning of consecutive numbers? Let's see question. The sum of 3 consecutive numbers is 12. What are these 3 numbers? Sum means total. So I need to think of 3 consecutive numbers, which means 3 numbers that follow each other in order, and the total of them is 12. In order to think of this kind of questions, in case he asked for 3 numbers, so I will divide my number by 3. Or I will ask myself how many 3's are there in number 12. So there are 4 3's. So number 4 will be one of my numbers. Then I will choose a number before and a number after. So the number before 4 is 3, 4, 5. Let's check our answer. 3 plus 4, 7. 7 plus 5 is 12. One more example, the sum of 4 consecutive numbers is 42. What are these 4 numbers? Here we need 4 consecutive numbers. So number 42, when I divide it by 4, so how many 4's are there in 42? The whole number will be 10, which means number 10 is one of these 4 numbers. So I will start by number 10. I will think of a number before, which is number 9, and a number after. 9 plus 10, 19. 19 plus 11 is 30. So if I added number 8 to these 3 numbers, it will be 38, not 42. But if I added number 12 to these 3 numbers, I will be having 9, 10, 11, 12, and the sum of the 4 numbers then will be 42. Is this clear? Now, let's talk about the other part of today's video about prime numbers. Before we start this lesson, let's remember together how to list the factors of the following numbers. For example, if I want to find the factors of number 5, the factors are the numbers when I multiply them together, it will give me 5, or the answer or the product will be 5. So I only have 2 numbers, the number 5 and the number 1. And we said before in the factors video, the first 2 factors I write the 1 and the number itself. So the factors of number 5 will be 1 and 5. Do you know any other 2 numbers when I multiply them? The answer will be 5? No. So now let's see the second number. Number 12. Number 12, I will start by the first two factors, 1 and the number itself, 1 and 12. Then I will check divisibility by 2. Yes, 2 and 6. 2 times 6 gives 12. So I have 1 and 12, 2 and 6. And what about number 3? Is number 12 divisible by 3? Yes, and the answer is 4. So number 3 and 4 as well. So the factors of number 12, 1 and 12, 2, 6, 4, and 3. And the order doesn't matter when we list the factors, remember? What about number 19? I will start by number 1 and number 19. Do we know any other two numbers? When I multiply them together, I will get 19? No. So 19 has only two factors, 1 and 19. Let's try number 9. The first two factors I write 1 and the number itself, then I have to check the divisibility. So number 9 is 3 times 3. Can I repeat the 3 twice? No, we said before we do not repeat their number twice, or we don't repeat the factor twice. So I will write 1, 9, and only 1, 3. What about number 11? 1 and 11. Do you know any other two numbers? No. So now, what do you notice about factors of number 5 and 19 and 11? Number 5 has only two factors, number 19 has only two factors, and number 11 has only two factors. They have only two factors, 1 and the number itself. And this sentence is really important for today's lesson, the prime numbers. So we can say that prime numbers are numbers that have only two factors, 1 and the number itself. We can also say they are numbers that are only divisible by 1 and themselves. We can check prime numbers using divisibility rules. Can you list some prime numbers? Let's go. Let's list the prime numbers between 0 and 100. Actually, there are 25 prime numbers between 0 and 100. Look at this table here. It has all the prime numbers from 0 to 100. From 0 to 10, we have 4 prime numbers, 2, 3, 5, 7. From 11 to 20, we have 4 prime numbers, 11, 13, 17, 19. In the 20s, we have 23 and 29. In the 30s, we have 31 and 37. In the 40s, we have 41, 43, and 47. In the 50s, we have 53 and 59. And as we said, prime numbers are numbers that only have two factors, 1 and the number itself. In the 60s, we have 61 and 67. In the 70s, we have 71, 73, and 79. In the 80s, 83 and 89. In the 90s, we have only 1, which is 97. Now, let's highlight some important notes about prime numbers. Number 1 is not a prime number because it has only one factor. 1 times 1 gives 1. So the factors of number 1 is only 1. And we said prime numbers have two factors, 1 and the number itself. So that's why number 1 is not a prime, because it has only one factor, which is number 1. Number 2 is the only even prime number. So number 2 is the only even prime number. We can find an infinite number or an endless number of prime numbers. Now let's see this question. Is number 51 a prime number, and why? 51. In order to know the number is a prime number or not, you have to check divisibility. Is 51 divisible by 2? No, because it's an odd number. Is it divisible by 3? Do you remember how to check divisibility by 3? I add the digits together. So 5 plus 1 is 6. Is 6 a multiple of 3? Yes. So number 51 is divisible by 3, which means it's not a prime number. So the answer will be no. Why? Because 51 has more than two factors. 1 and 51, 3 and 17. 3 times 17 gives 51 and 1 times 51 gives 51. And we said prime numbers have only two factors, 1 and the number itself. So when I have this question, I have to answer full answer. I must mention the factors of the number and I have to explain the meaning of prime numbers. Second question, is number 23 a prime number and why? Number 23 is a prime number. Why? Because it has only two factors, 1 and 23. And please, it's really important to know the 25 prime numbers between 0 and 100. You have to write them more than once and study them well. Are you ready for questions time? Let's go. We have here 4 questions. Write the first 5 prime numbers. Do you remember? 2, 3, 5, 7, and 11. And again, it's really important to know the first 25 prime numbers, which are the prime numbers between 0 and 100. Write 3 consecutive numbers that have a total of 15. So 15 divided by 3 equals 5. So number 5 is one of these 3 numbers. I will write a number before and a number after. So it will be 4, 5, 6. Let's check. 4 plus 5, 9. 9 plus 6, 15. Number what is the only even prime number? Number 2. Is number 91 a prime number? Why? Let's check. No, it's not a prime number. Why? Because it is divisible by 7. So, because it has more than two factors, which are 1 and 91, 7 and 13. And don't forget to mention that prime numbers have two factors only, 1 and the number itself. This is the end of our lesson today. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you have any question, please feel free to leave a comment and I will answer you as soon as possible. See you next video, and please remember that your feedback is highly appreciated. Thank you very much and see you soon.